This program may contain general offensive material which may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer and parental discretion is advised. The program content is the sole responsibility of the local resident producer or sponsor. Program content does not reflect the views or policies of this station staff or board of directors, any government body, or the cable operator. Tonight on Earth News, printing counterfeit money from your home printer.
Highly illegal.
Students prank a professor with a phone call during class.
That's funny.
And a fake cop demands discounts on tans.
All this right now. Earth News.
So,
how you doing?
What's going on? I'm Mark Crandall.
And I'm Brad Crandall.
And this is Earth News.
Sure is.
It sure is. Where can you trust? You know,
yeah, who do you trust? And who can you trust? And it all starts here.
There you go.
So,
all right, so I'm going to break up into our first story. In Waterloo, Iowa, right now, it's pretty interesting. This guy, police said a man caught passing counterfeit cash was making the bills at home using a color printer. So Brett Weir, 30, of Waterloo, was charged with 10 counts of forgery for passing $5, $10, and $20 bills. Police said he used the fake cash at more than 20 businesses, including grocery stores and gas stations. A clerk at a gas station who refused to accept one of the bills Monday called people to report the counterfeit cash. Police said that Weir returned to the same store later in the day to cash in a lottery ticket, and a description of his car led police to find his registration. Police said a search warrant was obtained for Weir's home. They found several counterfeit bills, a color scanner printer, paper, and other items used in making counterfeit money. They said Weir admitted to passing counterfeit bills. I don't understand how people just didn't realize it's a fake.
Right? They must have been good counterfeits.
It must have been some really high-quality counterfeits. But, if I was trying to do it, they'd see the staples. So they'd see the pieces of tape that tape the two together. Because I don't have a double-sided printer. That thing's just one-sided. So we'd run into some difficulties there.
Well, yeah, you probably shouldn't be doing that.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be doing that.
But it would
anyway.
be fun if you're getting away with it for a little bit. But
he did, but then he confessed to everything.
He's probably going to get a lot of time for that.
He might. He's probably doing some jail time for that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you hear about 2 dead, 3 injured in attempt to get a cell phone out of a toilet? This is terrible. This is in China. 2 people are dead and 3 others were injured after a woman dropped her mobile device into a pit toilet, like a pit-style toilet, in China's Henan province. The woman's husband climbed into the cesspit to retrieve it, and he fainted from the stench. And then initiating a series of rescue attempts that ended in tragedy. The South China Morning Post reported that the husband's mother entered the pit to save him, but also instantly lost consciousness. So the owner of the phone herself then entered the pit, suffering the same fate. Unbelievably, the woman's elderly father-in-law and 2 neighbors also became trapped inside the toilet during the rescue. Other city residents worked together using ropes to pull 6 out of the knee-deep waste. They were only inside the pit for 5 minutes, but the husband and his mother died at the hospital after waiting more than an hour for medical service to arrive. The man left behind a 1-year-old son.
Oh my gosh. Suffocation by stench.
Yeah, it's like methane gas.
Well, they immediately lost consciousness. And then they technically drowned, right? That's a cesspool drowning?
Right? Oh my god,
That just sounds crappy.
It's probably the worst place to go. Yeah, that's me, right?
That's terrible.
All over a cell phone. That was probably worth like $500.
I mean, if that. What if he still had one of those?
Oh,
flip
it
phones?
says it was worth around $300.
$300. So it was probably a smartphone or some sort. And 2 people died trying to save this phone. Like, where's the thought?
Where's the like?
Where's the lacrosse stick?
After it falls in poop like that.
I'm just like, why would you even go near that thing to try and pull it out? Wouldn't you use like a stick with a net, like you would for like minnows or something like that? That's nasty.
Yeah, that's absolutely disgusting.
Gross.
But I mean, what a fate,
Oh, that's dirty. And
bad.
other metaphors for crap.
Poopy situation.
So, students actually get a professor pretty good with a prank after an awkward pregnancy phone call. Now, a group of students at Aquinas College in Grand Rapids, Michigan, pulled an April Fool's Day prank on their professor that he didn't forget. The macroeconomics professor, Stephen Barrows, has ruled that if a cell phone rings in class, the student must answer it on speakerphone. However, that policy backfired when one of Barrows' students answered a particularly private phone call, leaving the poor professor in an awkward situation. So basically, this person picks up and says, "Hi, this is Kevin from the Pregnancy Resource Center," the voice on the other end. And per your request, I'm calling to inform you that the test results have been positive. Congratulations. The student receiving it, Taylor Nevsey, had arranged to have the prank phone call occur at exactly the right time during the class. I think we might have a sound clip of that. And if it was playing, then that was hilarious. If not, that's just ridiculous. The teacher's policy. So there's some funniness too.
Yeah, that is. That's a pretty decent prank, if you ask me. This is not a prank though, but a father hit teacher with baseball bat after finding inappropriate text on his 15-year-old daughter's phone, and. Yeah, I mean, I can't say I blame him. That's terrible.
I heard about this story, and it seemed pretty legit.
Right? A father hit a teacher with a baseball bat at their Nottingham, Maryland home Thursday after discovering that the 42-year-old educator had been texting his 15-year-old daughter. Police said no charges have currently been pressed by the teacher or the parents, according to reports. The father who hit the teacher with a baseball bat had discovered the numerous inappropriate texts earlier that day and told police about it at 3 a.m. However, authorities couldn't find any evidence of inappropriate conduct between the male teacher and the female student. A police press release stated, "There's nothing we've seen in the contents that's criminal," Baltimore County Police spokeswoman said. Later that morning, the teacher, who was not been named by authorities, showed up at the family's home to talk to the girl's father. The details of the conversation had not been leaked, but once the father asked him to leave, the teacher refused and took things into his own hands and struck the teacher with a baseball bat. And, the teacher sustained minor injuries from being hit, but,
Minor injuries?
Yeah.
If he came after my daughter, he'd have major injues coming to him. Especially after the text messages and such. It's like, dude, give it a break. Give it a break before I break you, I would be so, I'll teach you something,
He's probably going to be like, "It's true love."
Oh, man.
That's terrible.
That is terrible. The daughter was probably like, "Dad, help me." Help me out with that.
Also, how do you hit someone with a baseball bat and only give them minor injuries? Like, I don't really understand that.
I mean, it had to have hit some muscle. Maybe hit him in the leg or something, or it blocked the bat. It hit his elbow.
Or this guy just couldn't hit one out of the park.
He probably couldn't. That's why he didn't resort to fisticuffs. He just got the bat instead. She's like, what bat? You know, and the guy was ready for it because he's like, all right, he brought out a bat. You know, ooh, that hurt. Minor injury.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
Oh, you know what else is crazy is this Texas woman that I heard complained to a police officer about the quality of her marijuana. In Lufkin, Texas, police have arrested a woman after she called them to complain about the quality of the marijuana she had purchased from a dealer. Now, mind you, in Texas, pot is not legal. So Lufkin Police Sergeant David Casper said Monday that an officer went to the home of 37-year-old Evelyn Hamilton to hear her complaint that the dealer refused to return her money after she objected that the drug was substandard or subpar. Casper says she pulled the small amount of marijuana from her bra when the officer asked if she still had it. She was arrested Friday on charge of possession of drug paraphernalia. Hamilton said Monday that she spent $40 on seeds and residue. She says when she called police, and she got no satisfaction from the dealer's family.
Wow, she must have ticked.
She was BS over
Livid.
that. She was definitely, seeds and stones and residue.
Oh man,
that's an unfortunate bag, I would say.
Yeah, that's crazy. Did you hear about the math lab bust?
Math lab.
Math lab bust. It was a misspelling by a news thing, but they said 5 arrested in a math lab bust. And I thought it was pretty funny.
I don't want to be part of that math lab. That an extracurricular activities math lab.
Yeah, yeah. What's X? Find X.
Find X. Okay.
Yeah, all right. Here we go.
That's bad. So there's nothing worse than trying to get a tan, except getting a discount on the tan if you're a police officer. What's worse than that is trying to attempt to impersonate a police officer to get a discount on the tan that you're trying to get. A Bixby, Oklahoma man is in jail after he allegedly impersonated a police officer and demanded a discount on a spray tan. So it's not even a real tan, it's a fake tan. Dustin Lee Bell, 25, is accused of stealing a Sand Springs officer's badge, which he then allegedly donned, hoping for a discount at a local tanning salon. The tanning salon manager said in a statement to the police that the dispute began when Bell, who was wearing the badge visible on the outside of his sweater, demanded that he only be charged $10 for a $34 spray tan. The manager stepped away to call authorities and noticed there was a bottle of spray tan missing when he returned. After he was arrested, Bell told police that he found the badge at a car wash. Officers contacted the Sand Springs police, who confirmed that the badge had been stolen. So there's a couple of things we can learn from this story. Number 1, don't fake a police officer. Number 2, don't fake a tan.
Yeah, right?
Spray tan discount. Give me that.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy, man.
What a weirdo.
Where was that in?
That was Sand Springs, Oklahoma. He was from Bixby, Oklahoma. But give me a discount on this tan. I'm a police officer.
Oh my gosh.
Come to think of it, I don't know many cops that go to the tanning salon anyway.
Sure, a bunch of them.
A couple of them. They try to look their best on the force.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you hear about this garage hopping prank where this foreign exchange student was killed being in someone else's garage? And you shouldn't do that. I don't know, right?
What was he? He was garage hopping, or was he staying from garage
to Montana
garage,
homeowner will be arraigned Wednesday morning for shooting a German exchange student who illegally entered his garage.
Oof.
Yeah, except not this Wednesday, of course. But
so you thought it was an intruder?
Yeah.
He basically didn't know that this guy was in his garage.
Uh-huh.
Man, that's a tough case because you're private property. You're trespassing. You know.
And he said that there was there break-ins before, so it's like, who knows? It could have been the repeat offender.
Repeat offender. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear about the guy who's trying to clone John Lennon?
No.
Yeah. So,
It's a good idea, though.
a Canadian dentist, Dr. Michael Zuck, has outlined his plans to clone John Lennon using DNA from the singer's tooth. Speaking to Channel 4's Dead Famous DNA, Dr. Zuck told presenter Mark Evans he could be looked at as my son. Dr. Zuck, who lives in Alberta, Canada, bought the wisdom tooth for nearly £20,000 at an auction 2 years ago. It was previously in the possession of Lennon's housekeeper. However, he accepted that the technology to clone the singer is not currently available to him. Explaining how he would raise the potential clone, Dr. Zuck said he would still be his exact duplicate, but, hopefully keep him away from drugs and cigarettes, that kind of thing. He added, but, guitar lessons wouldn't hurt anyone, right? The dentist also appears to believe that the clone could make a claim on Lennon's estate, saying, I don't think I don't think I would be the one, owning his property. He would have the rights when he was old enough to make a claim.
Wow.
So
The clones.
the clones, John Lennon clones.
So many clones. No, that's
So
crazy.
John Lennon clones. You got your Beatles back.
Yeah, right.
And just clone them all.
Yeah,
We'll just do
right.
the Beatles part 2.
And then it's just John Lennon, like
He's like, I'm gonna keep her away from drugs and and cigarettes, and I probably
they should just clone him a couple times.
That's what he said. He said I could make more than one
That's
clone
so
too.
funny.
He says I don't know what I'd do. Maybe I'll
Wow.
make more than one.
That's so
So
funny.
they might clone John Lennon based on his tooth DNA.
Hey, that's a good person to clone. If
I
you
know.
had to
If
choose,
you had to pick someone,
Very
John Lennon's
talented.
not a bad
yeah,
one.
it's true. There's a dead deer car crash insurance scam busted in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And what they did is they had a deer carcass and deer blood that they would just make it look like you hit a deer.
You hit a deer.
And then they were trying to push it on people and stuff, and they had made nearly $5 million through this dead deer insurance, and collected about $2.3 million from insurance collision claims relating to deer, dogs, and whatever.
Uh-huh.
And he ended up telling some cop or something.
Oh no.
Yeah, some ex-cop or something, and he got screwed. Yeah, former city cop. Just tried to get him in on the scam, and
It just talked to the wrong person,
Yeah.
Oh man,
Then it-
what a scam! Getting the insurance companies,
right?
Because how much do you pay the insurance companies anyway for that in cases protection?
Mhm.
As in case things happen, then you go to them. But
Yeah.
otherwise, they're just collecting. These guys are. So what they had fake blood and stuff.
Yeah,
on
like
the
a carcass
starter?
and stuff.
That's
and,
crazy.
Yeah.
And they probably were like, "Oh, let's just clean that up
Yeah,
here."
exactly.
And they had, estimates on what the car's damages would be worth. They'll be like, "All right, we're gonna buff this out real quick. Give us half of that money. You can keep the rest."
Isn't that crazy?
That's nuts. $5
Yeah.
mil. I wonder how long they were doing that.
I don't know.
Bro, does it say there?
I just pulled it down.
Well, I had some more, so this cardiologist racks up a $135,000 bill over the course of 4 days at Scores, which is a nightclub. He says he was drugged every night. So the Manhattan Supreme Court will hear the case of a strip club that claims a cardiologist owes $135,000 in bills for four very expensive visits. And did we report on this one before?
No, what?
I think it was a very similar story to this. But basically, the guy, he went in for 4 nights at this strip club, and he claims that he was drugged, and he didn't mean to spend $135,000. I think we reported on this one before, but it was probably a very similar case. The West Side location of Scores charges that Zayed Kivas Yunin, Dr. Robert Wood, Johnson University Hospital voluntarily came to the plaintiff's place of business and requested that plaintiff provide him with food, beverages, and services. So apparently they're not letting it be known who the owner of Scores is because they're calling him the plaintiff. He compensated them for those services with his American Express card, which the club accepts as payment for its $250 meals, $1,000 bottles of champagne, and tips for dancers. The club's manager says huge tabs aren't unusual. What is unusual is that Union contested the charges, claiming that each of the 4 nights in question, whether he'd been drugged by Scores staff or he hadn't been at the club at all, the club counters it has video of Union on all 4 occasions that he was never drugged, he was coherent until he saw the bill, or his wife saw the bill, is what they're saying. Manager Stephen Hyman told the New York Daily News. So it must be a manager. I don't know who they're suing, but they said the plaintiff.
Wow, that's funny.
Crazy. So this guy spends 4 glorious nights, 4 hangover nights at this entertainment venue, and he contests that $135,000 worth of the isn't, he didn't spend it.
Wow, that's
crazy.
Insane.
Absolutely crazy.
Did you hear about how much time do we have left?
We got time for one more, and then we got to wrap it up. So you got the last story on this one.
Did you hear about this guy named Pablo Neruda, who has sex with pool rafts? And
What? What?
He's a serial pool raft screwer. And he doesn't use a wrench. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And this guy, he was quoted saying, "I crave your air, your nozzle, your squeaky plastic, silent and starving. I prowl through the pools. Bread does not nourish me. Dawn disrupts me. All day I hunt for rafts to F." And then
What?
the F word. Yeah.
What in the world?
Yeah.
That
So, and
is
then
what?
the Ohio man who try as he might just can't stop having sex with inflatable pool toys.
How does that work?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is he trying to blow it up?
Oh,
or
actually,
something?
no, never mind. This is so it is with this guy Edwin Charles Tubergerta or something.
Yeah, because Neruda
not
was
as
the
the
one
Pablo
that,
Neruda.
No,
that's
Neruda
someone.
was the one who was quoted as that poem.
Yeah. So he said the poem, but this guy Edwin Charles Tubergerta in Ohio, man.
Do we got a picture of him?
Can
we get a picture?
He looks
Oh
ridiculous.
my god, that dude's like.
Yeah, so he just can't stop having sex with things, and he got caught having sex with a pumpkin too. And
this dude's got a problem.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy.
He said he was arrested for public indecency recently when drivers saw him in the sweet romantic embrace of a pink life raft, completely naked on the side of the road.
Ridiculous.
Oh my god. So yeah, you can look at this guy.
Yeah.
His shirt says "I'm out of my mind," like right there. Please.
That's crazy.
That's
I think that wraps up another show of crazy stories.
Yeah.
I'm Art Crandall.
So and I'm Brad Crandall.
And this.
And who do you trust?
Who do you trust? EarthNews.
Yeah.